And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be having a look at the lady you've just heard. That's right, Anne Widdecombe, as she attacks the EU and their plot to ignore member states on the Brexit deal. On top of that, she also has a sideswipe at Boris as well, gloriously. Listen to this, everyone. This is why we left. Widdecombe attacks EU plot to ignore member states on Brexit deal. Anne Widdecombe says EU plans to rush through a Brexit deal before it has even been ratified by MEPs or member states offers a perfect illustration of why Britain decided to quit the bloc in the first place. Hear, Anne. The former Tory minister and Brexit Party MEP launched a scathing attack on Prime Minister Boris Johnson, accusing him, are we ready for this, of being too weak, got to agree with him, haven't we, to capitalise on Brussels' obvious desperation to tie up an agreement. With 40 days remaining before the end of the transition period, both sides are working feverishly to get a deal over the line, with suggestions one could be unveiled by the end of the month. We don't want a deal. This is 4 years of them wrangling so that we get a deal. Nobody voted for a deal, did we? However, it has been suggested the European Commission, led by Ursula von der Leyen, is ready to push through a last-minute agreement without it being ratified by the European Parliament or individual member states. Empire much, member states. I did say this on one of my previous videos, that they're trying to remove all of your powers as member states and just have one glorious German empire. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Miss Widdecombe told Express if they can really do that without all other countries being happy, that does say why we left the bloc. The fact is, nobody is surprised any longer, and we're not, are we, everyone? The major reason we got out is that we couldn't be bossed around. Well, we can under Boris, Anne, we can under Boris. She added, the other thing it shows is that the EU is obviously desperate for a deal. Of course they are, any deal. And we would have got a better deal if we'd have walked away like we all voted for, wouldn't we? And if Boris had any sense at all, he would be using that. Because it's always being portrayed that no deal is the problem for Britain, but it is obviously a massive problem for the EU, and they are desperate to avoid it. And were I Boris, I wish you were in a position of Boris, to be honest, Anne. I would really be relying on that. I would simply say the issues that remain are the issues that have been troublesome all along. Fishing, state aid and the ECJ. Miss Widdecombe suggested huge problems remain which are unlikely to be resolved in the course of a few short days. She said when people say 95% of the deal is done, 95% of the deal was always going to be done. The things that remain are the stumbling blocks, and Boris now should say it's obvious you don't want a deal and are rushing it through, but you will get no deal unless you come to our terms. The be-all and end-all is that Boris is just too weak, and we've got to agree with her, haven't we? He is too weak. That's why he's been flip-flopping on everything. The slightest bit of pressure and he'll fold every single time. Boris isn't a leader, is he? That's why the civil service have been able to run rings round him. Mr Johnson was desperate to get something signed off for the end of the year, said Miss Widdecombe. The fact is that he hasn't made any proper preparation to do otherwise. And nor actually has the EU. Both of them say they have, but they haven't done in earnest because both sides are thinking they will come to some sort of deal. Any trade deal was likely to be a threadbare arrangement, which amounted to an extension of the transition period and everything but name, Miss Widdecombe predicted. She warned Boris is in the habit of simply extending deadlines, and there are more ways than one of extending a deadline. They can say that we have got a provisional deal and the rest will be tied up later, which is semantics. In other words, we haven't actually got a deal. Mr Parsons told Sky News one thing that jumps out is something called provisional application. What that might mean is if a deal is agreed at the last minute, it's put in place before it's even ratified. One source told me that would be a very precarious option. A European Commission spokesman told Express, negotiations are ongoing. We are working hard for a deal. We are not going to speculate about dates. So that's confirmed it then. Michel Barnier has always said that there must be a time at the end of the negotiations for the European Parliament and Council to have their say on any potential deal. We're going to get shafted here, aren't we, everyone? This sounds like we're going to get shafted, and Anne seems to realise that as well. In regards to what she said, it's very difficult to find anything in that to actually critique other than to say, here. I agree fully. The EU and Boris and the Tories are 100% desperate to get anything, any deal whatsoever. They never, ever wanted no deal like we all voted for. This has all been a ploy to get any deal they possibly can, and any deal, in my opinion, will make us subservient to the EU in some way under the counter rather than out up front. You think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Share it out, everyone. Stay sane in this crazy, crazy upside down world, and I'll see you on the next one.